Welcome to Online Seller UK podcast. My name is Prabhat, founder at Online Seller UK, and we've been doing these Amazon related podcasts for a while. And today we've got really interesting topics. That topic is about driving traffic to Amazon pages from external. So to be precise, it's about how to use external traffic to scale up your Amazon sales. I'm joined by Ben, and Ben will introduce himself and we'll dive into the topic. So welcome to our podcast, Ben.
Thank you, Prabhat. So kind and gracious of you to let me share a few minutes. And just looking back at the library of content you've curated, it's just a fantastic resource you're building out here.
Thank you.
So quick background on me is just pretty straightforward. Did some time in the military, did some time at Tesla, banking, UBS, Harvard Business School, LinkedIn, and co-founded a company called Best Reviews, which we grew to be the largest traffic driver for Amazon in the US market. And at one point in time, we were the largest in Canada and one of the largest in the UK. So driving a lot of users from Google to review its content on a product and then to the Amazon listing page where they then make a purchase. So we drove many billions in sales for Amazon. We sold that company a couple of times. And since then I've been building new companies in and around that Amazon ecosystem, thinking a lot to your point about offsite traffic into product listing, product detail pages.
Excellent. So so you've not mentioned the new company name.
So the company I'm very focused on right now is Maverick X. I've worked on several different projects, and this is the kind of 90% focus right now. And the long story made short is, as I was alluding to, we drove all this traffic from Best Reviews to product listing pages. We made billions of dollars in sales for brands, but our only relationship, Prabhat, was with Amazon. We got paid, a small percentage on the sales we drove from Amazon directly through what they would call their associates program, a form of affiliate marketing. And one of the insights that was bubbling up as we were scaling Best Reviews and as we were selling it, we sold it a couple of times, was we are probably missing this big piece of the business, which is how do we have relationships with brands, manufacturers, and sellers who are actually the ones benefiting from all these sales, perhaps even more so than Amazon. And so when we were working on this idea for Maverick X, it was really, let's become a 100% centric on coming at it from the brand manufacturer seller side. And let's think a whole lot about how we drive the traffic from outside Amazon into the product listing or product detail page to create value for those brands and manufacturers.
Excellent. So, the advertising on Amazon is obviously a good driver for sales, and we've seen this growing that's all billions of pounds worth of revenue. But lately, driving traffic to Amazon pages externally is getting more value. And do you want to talk a little bit on that? What's happening there?
Yeah, I think there's probably two big catalysts, Prabhat, that we see, and I can show some visuals of this. One is the cost, and there's some research everyone's probably seen on this from Marketplace Pulse and other resources. The cost on Amazon of PPC is a percentage of sales keeps rising. That's one factor. The impact of offsite traffic, particularly high quality, high converting traffic, to leverage and lift your SEO inside the Amazon marketplace keeps rising every quarter almost. And then you also have Amazon attribution, which is still in pilot phase, but in the US market for 3P seller central partners, you now have this 10% seller rebate that can allow for some to justify more spend and also give better analytics as to how that spend is actually impacting sales. Now, we're the last to say that that's capturing all the sales that are coming. It's, like everything, it's a very new product, has many situations where it's not actually capturing, but the signals are powerful when you think of just the percentage of that's capturing and the lift you can see in organic impressions, organic clicks, organic sales. It's very meaningful for the brands and the sellers.
Okay, good. So so in terms of driving traffic up to Amazon pages, I think it might be complicated. It's easier. How does it work? Do you want to focus on that?
Yeah, and if it's okay, I can do a little screen share and just walk through a little bit of how flow might look.
Please feel free.
Awesome. So if you see my screen here, can you see that okay, Prabhat?
Yes, I do.
So let's just say I'm searching as a consumer for a dog calming aid. In this case, I typed in this search, best calming aid for dogs. There's this array of organic and paid search results that come up on your page. One tactic, of course, that people are familiar with is, can you get into organic search articles? Another tactic is paid search articles. And so the flow, if a user clicks on these, could look something like, okay, they're first there at the search, and then they come over and flow through. Could be an organic result, could be a paid. One site that we control is Product Picks. We can drive the user here through organic or paid search and bring a completely custom experience, 100% centric on one brand, in this case, Finn. So think about this, they're able to bring in influencer or in-house curated content, specific testimonials, copy, visuals, and all of these clicks lead to Amazon and can be tracked with Amazon attribution. So what you have here is this great chance to own the education process for the consumer and drive that traffic through effectively a customized funnel to the Amazon product detail page. All these clicks drive there. That was kind of the first phase. And then we've been continuing to iterate on this. This is an even newer phase where you've actually got what we would call follow along. So this video actually on the left rail stays with the user. Anywhere you go, you're going to be able to go and click on this video. And so we're continuing to experiment with different form factors. And some of these, by the way, probably if we walk back here, one of these formats that I just showed you might make sense for this search. But if we go to this search, reviews on calming aids, we might want to create a very different experience. And we might want to drive the user through a different flow. It might be this page makes more sense based on the data we have on clicks and conversions and so forth. So those are the two of the many different options we have. And you might run both of them, but run one experience on the mobile user and another on the desktop user. Another example of where we can drive the traffic from is actually taking this same idea of what we would call persistent video widget and put it on another page. So here's yet another example. This is in an acrylic paint set, but this persistent video can live anywhere. So we could take the persistent video, put it on a different website, put it on the brand's website, put it on content about the acrylic guide, or put it on content that's just about paint sets in general, and try to engage users, inform them, and again, they can click through and make that purchase on Amazon. Is that a helpful overview, Prabhat?
Yeah, I think that's really good, and it's opening my eyes as well to what you can do with the system. So, so now the next thing will obviously, if I want to sign up to the program that you've just shown, and then and in terms of result and the process of actually doing it, so is it what sort of time frame we are talking here? So for example, if I agree to start working with the tool today, how long does it take to get things moving forward?
Yeah, that's a great question, Prabhat. As you can imagine, when you're creating a whole custom page and video and all this stuff, like nothing is snap a finger. I think many people in the ecosystem, rightfully so, are familiar with an Amazon ad. Snap your fingers, we've got ads running, we're in business. This timeline is much more one of a week or two, not a moment or two, but
Sure.
we've got it down to a pretty good process. And we, let's say you signed up and registered today, we would probably be able to have your pages up. If we're probably going to use paid search as a component, we create the custom AdWords accounts for you. All of that can be done in well under 2 weeks.
Okay, I think it's a long-term game from what I'm hearing. It's not like you said, it's not like a quick process. And Also, you've suggested before about organic ranking and all that sort of thing. So it's going to be a long-term gain. And in terms of getting results, uh, again, it's different in different products sort of thing. So let's talk about what's actually working. So do you want to talk about what's actually winning in this space and that you've experienced with?
Yeah, it's a great question, Prabhat. What we're seeing win is really two things. Price point above about 25 US dollars ballpark, and generally below 1,000 US dollars. And your product within the category. So let's say we're back to dog calming aids. You've got to have a compelling product within the dog calming aids category. And you understand this, right? It's hard to make any advertising work when the product is not satisfactory. And the other side we've learned is if your price point's way off where it probably should be, that's tricky. So if you fit in that kind of 25 US dollar to 1,000 US dollar range, you have a quality product within the category and a reasonable price. Where we struggle, we did some tests with products that were like, $10 or 10 or 20% more than the competitors, but their review count's far lower, and the perception is that it's a lower quality product. Really hard to win that battle because consumers will check. They'll look, they'll even scroll down the product listing page, and you probably have competitor ads running. When they see a competitor ad that's 10% lower price, 50% higher review count volume, and higher star rating, what do you expect the consumer to do? So I think as long as we can fit in those constraints, there's a lot of opportunity, and we're seeing consistently, we're not oftentimes beating the Amazon PPC, ACOS, ROAS, or tacos, but we're coming in close, and we are beating in some cases. Gets into a lot of nuance of what sort of, are you going after branded search? Are you going after broader match? And are you going after it with a really limited budget or a lot of budget? Many variables at play, but look, it's working. And across a wide array of categories, primarily it's just got to be within those price points, and the product has to fit within that kind of category bucket. And I would tell you that, I showed a couple of pages, but one of the unique capabilities we're building is we're expanding where all the product can surface, whether it be on that video widget or inside the content body. That network is becoming an incredibly exciting feature of our capability, where you can, in theory and in practice, we're starting to be able to appear in multiple positions in the search results pages. And that's, just taking share from your competitors in a very, ACOS and budget efficient way.
Okay, yeah, I saw there. It's the page itself is very rich because there's video going on, there was product information going on. It's very informative there. So, okay, that's good. So thank you for sharing all these details. We're coming towards the end of the podcast. Before we go, is there anything else you want to add to what we discussed today?
I think the biggest thing I would say is, when you've got these opportunities to experiment, I would strongly consider getting in earlier, because unlike other areas of search, I think what's compelling is when you get into certain slots and start to get data, you can actually have a real advantage over later entrants, because there's only so many pages that can rank in position one in organic search. If you can secure large, key, prominent positions in that and get your bidding strategy set right, other entrants will have a real hard time ever entering, because it's economically untenable for them in many cases. So if it's something you want to test, whether you test with us or someone else, I would consider some testing earlier, because I think by waiting, it's likely to be like many things in the Amazon and e-commerce ecosystem, that it does become more competitive over time.
Absolutely. And before we end, if somebody is to find you and want to talk to you, have a chat, where's the best place to get to you?
Easy to find me on LinkedIn. Easy to find our company. It's just mavericx.io, and we're quite findable. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you. My email just ben@mavericx.io, and yeah, please reach out if we can be helpful. One thing we've learned, Prabhat, we've never had a call where we couldn't help educate someone. Doesn't mean everyone signs up for the product day one, but as you know, there's so many things changing here. When you can educate people and create value, it's always going to be a good long-term proposition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you again for your time today. And I'll speak to you soon. All the best, Ben.
Thank you, Prabhat.